it's Angel, and it's a new day. I've been in a pretty good flow with recording these videos and, um, trying to edit it at the same time. So I figured I might as well keep recording and keep working on this while I still can and while I'm in, a pretty good flow. Even if I only have like 2 people watching these videos, like, it's just, I'm having fun doing this. It's cool. So today's episode, I'm just moving folders again into my downloads, and I might even try and start editing the town a little bit, the neighborhood, and then I have some like buildings I might want to install. I'm learning. I don't know how to really make a town very well. I don't know how to make it like super nice and fancy, but I'm gonna try. But again, like I've said before in a previous episode, like I'm not going to be working so hard on trying to make this series look like super cool or super professional or realistic or detailed, because I just want to tell the story more importantly. So if things, don't look that great, then it is what it is. It's good enough. So all right, gonna get started. Alright, so I really liked how Gavin and Claw turned out as their human versions. Now, next thing I'm doing here is looking for neighborhoods to download. So here I'm just sort of looking through different kinds of available custom neighborhoods to download, and I couldn't really decide on which one I wanted, because some of these, like, I was looking at them and thinking, these look really good. So eventually I just kind of downloaded all of the ones that I liked, and later I go into the game to sort of check out each of them and see what I can do with each of them. Next, I kind of just started looking for lots that I could download. I usually don't use custom buildings that other people made unless like I really could find a use for it. But otherwise, I like to make a lot of my own settings. I don't usually use pre-made lots very much. Sometimes if I do, then I usually like to use them if they're empty. A lot of the settings that I've used in my series and stuff, I've built them myself, because it's a lot of fun to build your own settings and whatnot. But I do appreciate like a lot of these buildings and the amount of effort and detail that go into them. So if I ever could like put it to good use for something, even if it's just for something small, then I would, if I'm like really dying to use it. Cause some of these homes are so beautiful and amazing that I do end up like wanting to use them. So the last thing I'm doing in this episode is to finally draft out the neighborhood. I actually drafted out 2 neighborhoods because I wasn't sure which one I really wanted to use. Essentially what I'm doing is just kind of really roughly putting everything in as if I was building the city basically, but just kind of to know where I'm gonna have things. But because I really liked these two neighborhoods that I downloaded, I wasn't sure which one I wanted, so I drafted both of them out, and in the end, I think I'm gonna go with the second option. I really I liked both of them, but the first one I think feels it feels too empty or too wide, and I like the second one because it's more cramped, so it would look nicer in game. You can see kind of everything at different directions, and there's not like any empty spaces. In this first neighborhood, I could fill up some of those empty spaces a bit more. Uh, like there's this really big just space between these two kind of like little cities that I made. I made the bigger city, and then I have the agriculture area with like a small little city because I was thinking, you know, like the city that I live, it's kind of really small, even though it's still considered a city, but it's pretty small. But this one, I think in the game, it probably wouldn't really look too great, and I don't know. I felt like I was leaning more towards the second option, so I think that's what I'm gonna go with. But yeah, then next episode, I think I'll be starting to build some of the lots, which I'm really excited for, and starting to uh, kind of beautify the neighborhood, or at least like start downloading stuff to help me to make the neighborhood look nicer.